My name is Amanda. I'm from Return to Source Wellbeing, and I'm a kinesiologist and intuitive healer. And this is a recording of a little mini session that I'm doing with the lovely Andie Noon here, who's in Perth. And so Andie has beautifully and kindly agreed for you to be able to see how a kinesiology session via distance works. And so we're going to be working on the topic of the immune system today, as that's sort of tested up as a really interesting piece of work to do for this session. So Andie, did you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and how that might be relevant to you for today?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Amanda, for first of all giving me this opportunity. I think I've heard heaps about you, so it's interesting that I chose to work with you today because I was like, well, this is awesome. Anyhow, I'm Andie. I live in Perth, like you mentioned. I have my own design studio, so I'm a creative by nature and person. Last year, I went through some interesting stuff in my life, which included a car crash, and I was pretty injured, and quite up till about yesterday, I had a neck brace on. So today is like my first new day in my life. And so I think this session is going to be quite interesting for me with Amanda because it talks about the immune system. The other reason I'll say why I'm interesting is because my little girl, she suffered a low immune system when she was little. So anything to do with the immune system is always exciting and intriguing for me.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to this session today, Amanda.
Thank you. Yeah, so immune system is an interesting one because we are talking about the body's defenses, and so whether we feel well protected and safe versus not feeling protected and maybe feeling invaded in some way, whether that's on an energetic level or on a physical level with physical health problems. And certainly having a car accident is a little bit of an invasion in one's life.
You reckon?
I think so. I think so. And you and your family have done an amazing job to heal and recover. And so yes, this is a beautiful way to continue that work. So we tuned into you before, so I'm just going to start to check in with the energetics and see where we're at. Using essential oil. Oh, it's orange. The essential oil of orange.
Awesome.
So orange is gorgeous. It has the message of joyful radiance.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, that's probably quite a nice message given everything that's happened for you guys since was it October that everything went?
Definitely.
Yeah. And so I'll just check to see what else we need to look at here. Okay. So the message here is shining the light on old, dark, and negative issues and bringing them to the surface to heal and dissipate. So, we've had a bit of a chat about this before that, and it's a topic that comes up every now and then, that sometimes when something really big happens, like a car accident, often it's actually pointing the way to other issues that also need to be addressed. And so, whatever it is that that was pointing to, I'm sure you've probably got some really good ideas on that.
Most of it, I think.
Sorry?
Most of it. I wouldn't say all of it.
Yeah.
We as humans can be quite stubborn.
Well, the subconscious mind is there to protect us, and so it's trying to keep everything we don't need beneath the surface, but sometimes it doesn't know when to let go of those stories.
Yeah.
So this is one way we can do that, and so orange has come through to say, okay, it's maybe time now to do a little bit more releasing there. All right, do we need any more messages from orange? No. That's kind of nice though, nice way to start. All right, so All right. So then we're working with, I don't know if you saw the little video I did on the other day on talking about survival stuff, about the cloacal point.
No, I think I missed that one, I'll be honest. But I'm interested that because I was reading a book, like I love the chakra system, so I was reading one and I was just reading a bit more about the Muladhara and, you know, and just how it's one of our survival modes if we don't have it balanced, right? Like when there is like an imbalance.
All right.
There's,
Yeah.
So yeah,
no,
I love what you're saying.
Yeah, so the root chakra, Muladhara, the base chakra, people have different names for it if they don't know the Sanskrit. You know, it's very much related to feeling safe, feeling grounded, and happy to be in this body. So for a lot of people, even if they're unaware of it, just feeling safe and happy to be in their own body can be a massive issue. And certainly when you've had a massive trauma, then it's a bit like, what? Are we safe here? So what we've got is, I'm just looking and trying to turn my brain around to look at where you are. So it's the inside point of your right eyebrow. So I'll touch that point there. If you want to hold on to that point with one hand. And then the other point, just on the edge of the eyebrow.
Okay.
And then with the other hand, I want you to put your hand on the base of the sacrum.
Yep.
And then I want you to walk your feet.
Wait, let me not drop the laptop. Give me 1 second.
So I want you to go up from the base of the sacrum, and I want you to move, go up 1 point, 2 points, about 3 points up.
Yep.
And I just want you to hold these points and do some breathing. So we're just asking these points of the body to do some equalizing and harmonizing together.
Okay.
And just breathing into the belly. So deep breaths through the nose. And we're just waiting for the energies between them to remember that they're connected. They're safe and they're connected. So you can release those now when you're ready.
Okay.
It feels pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
So this is a reminder that at one point we were all in one cell. And so those points there were actually like this close to each other at one point in time. And as we expand into 2 cells and 4 cells and 6 and 8, these points get further and further apart. And each of those experiences requires surrender and that feeling of like separating and dying and becoming something else. So, you know, as we become a human, all of these pieces of ourselves have to spread further apart in order to become that thing.
How interesting is that?
Yeah, it's really beautiful. I really love sharing that story. So then when our survival patterns come up, that's a part of us again that relates to that old, we lost you. Okay, so we're back. Andie's battery just ran out at that point, which was kind of interesting given what we were talking about.
It was the commercial time, you know, the time for the ads to roll in where Amanda promotes herself shamelessly, I promote myself shamelessly, and everyone does.
Didn't actually work out that way. But
No.
So we were talking about how that sort of survival pattern that's linked to the division of cells from one cell to many, and sometimes that's like a cellular memory, and that can get triggered when we find ourselves in other situations of trauma. So it's kind of like one of the original traumas of being a human.
Yeah.
Really kind of interesting. So there's various points, and so those are the ones that are on the right eyebrow and then on the back of the sacrum. So that's like front and back of the body, past and future, past and present. So that's interesting. All right, so we've got that one sorted. Before we go forward, where are we starting? Okay. All right, where are we going? Present, future. Oh, we're going to the future.
I like that.
So, all right, where are we going? Days, months? How many months? 1 to 6, 6 to 12, 6, 7 months into the future we're going. So, there's something that's important about 7 months into the future in relation to the immune system, in relation to everything else that we've been talking about. All right,
Okay.
so let's see. There's an emotion that's relevant here. And, okay. Oh, this is kind of interesting one. Really? Okay, this is the one. So the emotion is bashful.
Oh,
Bashful
okay.
is kind of like saying shy, you know, a little bit shy, a little bit bashful. Self to life. So kind of like feeling a bit shy about yourself in relation to life.
I am an introvert of kind, which people really find hard to actually realize.
Yeah, because you've got such a nice, easygoing nature. So bashful.
But I have a very introverted personality too, which people who really know me know that. Like they go, yeah, because those are my, almost like you can call it coy. I don't know.
Yeah. So I just asked.
I'm an introvert.
Yeah, and I asked if there was more here. Oh my goodness. Oh, just got this beautiful big heart chakra feeling. Oh, this is gorgeous. So the more in the message here says inspired truth. So feeling a bit bashful about yourself in relation to life, about inspired truth. So what would that mean to you?
Interesting. I mean, it's really expressing through my creative self, but not just one outlet. And there's parts that I don't express as much as I really should. Probably because I'm busy as well, not because I don't want to. That would be a lie. But just not having enough time to.
So what would be inspired truth in your life, especially given everything that's gone on in the last little while?
Oh, it's just probably just having that. Like I have a good connection with myself, but sometimes I falter with that, as in doubt that great connection I have with the universe. And those are my parts where I'm not going in my truth. Like I really have a great connection, touch wood, but I doubt it because I don't see the way a lot of people write about it and see it. Like my experiences are very different. Yep. So a good example would be I didn't know what astral travel was, the word.
Yep.
Right? I've done it all my life.
Yeah.
From a childhood. Yep. I just didn't know that it was called that. And so it was just like,
the word for it.
Everyone does it. Everyone does it. It must be like, I do it, so everyone does it. And then as people spoke, I was like, no, I don't do stuff like that. And then you kind of look at it and go, oh, if that's what it means, then I do it, but in my own sort of way. So things like that.
Yeah. So here's the clues. It's about your immune system.
And the spiritual part as well.
Yeah. So this is about your immune system, which is about feeling robust.
Yeah.
And then the emotion of bashful is a little bit in conflict with that, right? Like with feeling robust and safe and protected, maybe feeling a bit bashful and shy about, and the word that's just being shouted at me is sharing your inspired truth.
Okay.
What would that be? What would that, like, does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it really does make sense. Because see, I have a great spiritual connection, but it's like I keep it. I share it with my artwork. I do share it with my artwork, and I tell people when I do my design that, hey, I will be working with spirit, just letting you know. But the fact that I can do other stuff as well, like I've got other spiritual abilities, and sharing it and I feel less confident because like I haven't done courses, I haven't gone to schools, I haven't done this and that, and I don't have a deck of cards. I just do.
Yeah.
And that is my holding back.
So
like I don't have the whole, I don't know, the whole package that goes with it is just, this is what I am, and I don't have the right fancy words.
right.
I
And
just
so does that somehow preclude you from being who you're meant to be? Or is
that part of me, I would say like that part is something I don't fully share, because it's like, oh, people would think I'm like a complete idiot. It's like, okay, so you're like this great person and you say, yeah, you use your guides, and then now you have this other thing, like, you just like a made up kind of person. And that's, again, see, this completely away from my extroverted nature, where it's like, I'm very confident about myself. I accept every bit of it. When it comes to that, I have my cards, and I'm not like, I do readings and stuff for other people. I do get messages, I really do, and I tell people that, but I haven't done anything formally like, oh, let's book a session with me, because it's like, I just do it for people I work with anyways, with my clients. Like, I'll tell them, hey, I got a message for you, but it's not like a consultation. It's while I'm working on their designs. This came for me, for you.
So, that's cool, right? Like, not everybody who is spiritual or has, gifts needs to be working as a medium or a psychic. And in fact, I know some beautiful people who have, like a bookkeeper, for example, who is very intuitive. And that's a wonderful thing. She's got the ability to help people with their money, but at the same time, in that open, intuitive and spiritual way, because she's not just helping them with their money and bookkeeping, she's helping them with their financial advice and helping them grow their business from that place of beautiful, inspired connection. So, it's kind of that owning of that identity. And that, we've talked a little bit about this off this chat, where, sometimes a big thing happens in your life and it's a wake-up call going, hi, there's more for you to do here.
Yeah.
So, yes, please, be a designer, but don't just be a designer.
No, I get it, because I have actually stopped being now I just go out and tell it to anyone and everyone, and but I am opening up more, so I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, it's really
and also speaking in places. That's another thing I've started doing this year. I really have. I did one with a neck brace.
Yeah, awesome. So as we've been talking, I've just been working with some organs and glands and hormones, and just sort of looking into where this issue is impacted. And so we've got the pineal gland, which is connected to the third eye, so your vision and how you see yourself and how you see the world and how you perceive things, and also the thymus. Now, the thymus is a gland that lives in the left side of the breastbone, under the breastbone. It's very active in kids. As we get older, it shrinks. But once we start spiritually starting to wake up again, it starts to activate again. So that's kind of quite in line with, huge shift in the massive change in your life. Car accident and being immobilized for months and having to really question what's gone on in your life.
Yeah.
And then, that can be a real trigger for starting the spiritual growth path in a whole new, to open and blossom in a whole new way.
Sounds good.
That's pretty gorgeous. And so then we've also got follicle stimulating hormone. Now, you've got children, and I don't know if you've planned this to have more, but for women, it's not always just about children. It's about being creative, and it's about bringing those creations into the world. So that's testing up. And also the glucocorticoids, so that's connected to stress patterns. And also GABA, which is related to our mood balances, so how emotionally, we're feeling up or down or all over the shop. And so that's a little bit of like, we're working in the future, we're working with your immune system, and we're saying, well, there's obviously this issue around allowing yourself to share your inspired truth, feeling a little bit bashful about that, feeling a little bit like, oh, will I be okay? Will I be attacked? Or will I feel robust and protected and safe?
Yeah.
And that's then incorporating, connecting into these hormones. So really interesting. And the cool thing is, right, like even though we're talking about something in the future, your brain and your mind and your body don't really know the difference between the future and the past and the present. It's all the same. It's like that the body doesn't know the difference between watching a stressful movie and being in a stressful situation. So your body's obviously busy responding to something that's coming your way.
Yeah.
And it sounds really exciting.
I am.
What we'd like.
I think I'm excited about this whole year, to be honest.
Oh, that's good.
I'm really.
What we'd like to do is work with this sense of, well, it's okay to not be the label that you think you need to be, and it's okay to be introverted, but also come from a place of, well, I do have something to share, and I'm going to stand in my power, and I'm going to share from that place. So that's really beautiful. All right, where are we going with this? The chakra correction. Well, and of course it's a heart chakra correction. All right, what does the heart chakra have to say for itself? A few things. Oh, some of my crystals are very busy chatting away. All right, so there's an emotion here of feeling disappointed. And this is present, this is in the future as well. So we're all in the same. Feeling a bit disappointed in yourself. And why would we be disappointed? What else is the story here?
Probably because I had to stop, in October when I had the crash. So and that's the human side of me, the plans, or rather the visions I had, what I would be doing, for that month and the month after. Not that I made huge plans, because I never really make huge plans. I make little small chunks, achievable ones. And it was like, yeah, we'll do this. And if that happens, then maybe we'll do this. But those were the intentions. And it put some real big breaks in that progress field, I would say.
Yeah.
And also just with my ability to work and to be in that place where I could go, right, I can give my 100%. And I'm one of those people, I like to do everything with my heart.
Yep.
It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's for myself, whether it's for someone else. I'm like, I have to really get involved. Yeah. And the fact that I had to just, I just have to lie here now and
surrender. Surrender is a huge issue.
Yeah, and I couldn't, but because I didn't have a choice, I had to surrender because I couldn't freaking move.
Yeah, there was nothing else you could do.
No, and the fact that I don't like taking medications. Okay, that's my other resistance. I really, really don't. I like to stay away from it as much as I can because I've always worked with myself, with my herbs, talking to my body, and there I was getting pumped with all these really high doses of painkillers. I had like 3 going into my system at one time. They were on a drip, and then the doctor was like, "Hey, you can just press the button on the other drip because you got a free go at it." And it was just that feeling, what happens when you have all these painkillers in your system. You're still in pain, and that and I was like, I'm flooding my body with shit. I'm in a shitty place. It's just going inside my body, and it made me feel really bad and not being able to be creative at all when I was in that phase. But then I learned, which is the good part, is I started thinking things in my head. It was like, okay, I can't draw. I can draw in my head. I can think in my head. And when I got out of the hospital, it was like talking to Phil and say, hey, Phil, can you do this? Because I can't sit on the computer for long hours, but can you do this? And this is exactly how I want. So it was like more like using my husband as the tool.
He was being your drawer, your creator for you.
Yeah. And I was like, I want it like this. And because for me at that point, just even sitting like this, I was in bed. I was lying. Like I was at home, but I had a hospital bed I was lying in. So to be sitting up, and it was just impossible. But I think even though I worked through it, it was still like, holy crap. I really cannot do stuff. And then I stayed away from social media because Phil just pretty much shut me down from it, which was good because I know I would have otherwise got really upset. I'd kind of going,
wow, why can't I do all these things? Yeah. And so the emotion that's showing up here is talking about the lessons, right? Interestingly. Yeah. Stimulating spiritual growth, revealing responsibilities and your growth path, and requiring a commitment to change. And so we've talked about these things, right? It's like it's a very clear sign that there's some stuff that needs to change. You may not have all the answers yet, but maybe in 7 months' time you're going to have the answers. Or at least the beginnings of the answers, right? Because we know these things take time to information to come through, ideas to form. Now what do I do with that? Sure, that sounds cool, but I don't know what to do with that thing, So it can take a while for things to formulate. But I guess this is beautiful confirmation that you're on your path and, everything has happened with some sort of intention and purpose and, it's you're now on this beautiful healing journey. Your neck brace is off and, it's time for things to start moving forward. And the crystals that I've put in the grid here, it's a beautiful rainforest jasper that jasper's about nurturing. Woo, that one's very chatty. And there's also, this is a green kyanite, piece of green kyanite. It's hard to see in here in the light. But it's sort of greeny, dark greeny blue. And so kyanite's about alignment.
Right.
And there's also my 3 little magic pieces of green calcite.
Oh, nice.
Dropping them. So these are green calcite's about letting go.
Right.
So letting go of how things were, letting go of the disappointments, letting go of all of those survival patterns, which, I can tell you from experience take time. So we have to have patience with ourselves. We have to nurture ourselves and be aligned with the new flow. Your life is in a new flow and you're being asked to commit to the change. So that's kind of beautiful as well. And,
I think that's really nice. And I really get that, like when you say it, because it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
That was another reason why we moved houses as well. Like we were going to move last year. That was a plan we made in July, right?
Yep.
And we had given the thing to the kids' school as well, like when the new term started, that we were going to leave the school. Yep. And then when the crash happened, I went into the survival mode, so I was too scared to think about travel.
Yep.
Even the way I was, because I was not really like move ready and everything.
No, you something like stay right where you are, right?
Yeah. I was scared to look at cars. Okay, that's how bad I was. Okay,
yes. Yeah.
And I'm not ashamed of that. I just was at that point. And I remember in December, something happened. As in, like I spoke to my guides, and they were just going, "Look, you got to move. It's okay." And I remember telling my husband, and I'm okay if you share this with the world, telling my husband that, you know what, because he didn't push me, he never does. He just didn't. He went, "Do you want to move?" And first I told him in November, no. He was like, "No way." And then on December, like during Christmas, I said, "You know what, we should really move. It's okay. And we'll do it your way." Because there's things he likes to do in his way. And I said, "I'm fine. We'll just do it." And he goes, "Are you sure you can cope with it?" I'm like, "Yes, I know. I will have to." Yep. So that was a huge step for me. but I'm glad I did it.
Okay.
Am I sure of everything that's happening? Am I sure where I'm going now? No, hell no. But I'm glad I did.
And so that's part of being in flow, right? We don't always know where we're going, and that's okay. If we plan everything out, then we can end up being disappointed as well and stressed because things don't go according to plan. And sometimes the plan is no plan, or the plan is in flow.
Yeah, for me it was just like just go with it. Yeah.
So what's testing up here is two essences. One's an essence and one's a light body activator. So the essence is called freshwater mangrove. Freshwater mangrove.
Yeah, I like mangoes.
Yeah. Nice. So mangrove is we can have our heart closed due to expectations or prejudices. So it's interesting given what you were just talking about. And it can be also about things that have been taught to us, not personally experienced. So the fear, and that could be related to everything you've said, but just that fear of moving, like in that environment, there might be some ancestral stuff there that's saying, when there's stress like that, you've got to hunker down, you can't move and you can't change. And then the positive outcome here is openness to new experiences and a healthy and perceptual shifts as well. So changing your perception, opening yourself up to new experiences, new people, and healthy questioning of traditional standards and beliefs. So, maybe that belief about staying right where you are served your ancestors.
Yes.
But for you, that becomes then a limitation if you just stay with that energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other one, which is really beautiful, is a light body activator for Lady Isis. So Lady Isis is like goddess.
Wow.
Yeah, right?
I'll tell you something later on, maybe after the recording, and you'll laugh why that one came out.
You actually did mention to me, I think, at one point that you had some contact with Lady Isis, I think. So
quite a lot of it. So I'm very happy that you got that one.
She's the goddess. She's, the most feminine aspect. She's the divine mother energy in the same way that, Shakti is, or any of the most beautiful divine goddess mother energies that we have in our consciousness and our experiences and cultures. So she's very much present and letting you know she's got your back and your neck as well, since it was your neck that was in the brace.
A beautiful neck.
All right. And so interestingly, because often I would do like some meridian corrections with chakras, but they're not testing up. It's that you needed these essences and this information and that discussion. So sometimes it's a physical correction and sometimes it's an energetic, emotional one. So that was the most important thing there. All right, is there anything else we need to do for this little session? This process is now complete. So we're just going to make sure that we send the energy your way. And is there anything while I do that you wanted to add, comment on that you're happy to have on the recording?
I think the reading today, do we call it a reading? What do we call it? What do you want to call it? Tell me so I say the right words.
A mini kinesiology session that we're doing, as we agreed, that's not going too in depth because it's on a recording, but it's giving you...
It's a mini Amanda session. That's what I'm going to call it.
Yeah.
I feel so. I have to say your mini Amanda session is pretty impressive because some of the stuff that you said goes completely in alignment with what I have been shown as well, and what I've been working at since my crash. So I have to say it was pretty divine and powerful and pretty spot on, and I'm pretty impressed. And the fact that Goddess Isis came to you, that was really cool too.
She's one of my favourites as well. Shush, you're all my favourites, but yes, she's been very present for me in the last year as well. So my hands are heating up as I'm just sending this energy from Melbourne to Perth, which is pretty much an instantaneous thing. So it's only more than for about 7 months in the future. So I guess the key message here is that you do have things to share, and it's time for you to embrace your lessons and embrace your change and be committed to this future where you will be sharing with others your inspired truth and feeling good about that, feeling healthy and robust and, safe to do so. That's probably like the key message that I would say from this session. Oh, and then, it's safe for the heart to feel open. It's safe for the heart to be able to share freely. Whew. And there's some
not hold back.
Spiritual opening and vision of, where things are going, which you may not have straight away or you may get inklings of, but you know, it's definitely on the way for you. Beautiful thing.
Awesome.
And
That sounds good.
yeah, and the joyful radiance, which was the first message from Orange. So coming from that place of really like, are we even actually going to pull through? Because it wasn't just you, it was your whole family as well, right? Like,
yeah, we were all in it.
Yeah.
We were all in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, yeah. But yeah, you know what? I do want to add that, like, a lot of people sometimes say, "Oh, I'm so sorry for you," but I do want to add, like, not even. I know it was a car crash and it was pretty horrible, but I never for once felt that I was sorry for it. I was like, okay, so maybe this is something for my whole family, and as a family, we had to go through for the next level. And I'm not saying this to sound good, but that's how I've seen it right from the beginning. And yeah, I had to stay back in the hospital longer, but that was my place to be, you know. So yeah, that's the part I really want to share, and want everyone to understand that no, I don't see it as a bad thing. I just saw it as it's good. Like, my whole family got to work together. Not very few people get to do that, you know.
Yeah.
Like, the whole family gets involved.
And it's
like we work as a pack.
It's like a direction change for the whole family, because if you think of the cars are where we're going, and your car got smushed.
Yeah.
It's like, change direction, everybody. It's time to change direction.
Yeah. So, you know, the fact that my whole family, we got to do this as a family, that's a blessing.
Yeah.
Usually people grow and one of us grows and the others are at different places. But in this universe pulled all of us into it. So
yeah, and I'm feeling some openings moving through the sacrum and through the heart. And what a beautiful place to be able to come back to a sense of joyful radiance with your future plans, given all of the things you have come through. It's really beautiful. So thank you so much, Andie, for sharing with us tonight. That's a beautiful gift that you're offering to other people as well. So yeah, you've got my respect for being brave enough to let us record this.
I just had to thought about it and I was like, oh, I don't know if I want, you know, people to see this. And I went, oh well, you know, it's okay. I mean, what? Someone doesn't like it, that's great. Someone likes it, that's great. But you know, it helps you, it helps me, and then it might help someone else, so why not?
And that, to me, is very much a part of your inspired truth.
Okay, cool. We have become a bit chatty of late, like as in a bold. I'll take that as a confirmation that it's okay. Just open them up.
Yeah, beautiful. All right, I'm going to end the recording now. So thanks again so much, Andie.
Thank you.